Okay, so I'm here at Elephant and Castle, which is the junction where very sadly someone was fatally killed on Tuesday this week. And a lot of people have said, why is this junction so dangerous? And also, why on earth did anyone take it, given it's so dangerous? Well, I've been cycling around this place for around about 15 years now. I generally take the junction. I'm going to ride through it, show you some of the dangers and explain a little bit why people still choose to go down that route and why what we have isn't acceptable. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down the road there, come down through this part here, round this corner, and as you can see the cycle lane here is well over to the left hand side of the road. So the cyclist is actually positioned in the middle of the road. So what the cyclist has to do is they have to go from being in the middle to making a very difficult choice in very fast moving traffic, but whether they should move over to the right and whether it's safe to do that, or whether they should stay in the middle. It's a difficult choice and people don't always get it right. And the problem that we've got with this junction here is that because there's so much heavy traffic moving through it, if you make a bad choice, and everyone makes those bad choices from time to time, the result can be absolutely tragic. So we're going to ride through this way, the direct route, and then just for comparison I'm going to show you the indirect route, which is a lot safer. Still not completely safe, I know people that have been hit on the indirect route as well, but is the other route which you could take. As I say, I've been cycling these roads for about 10 years and I've been a daily cyclist for most of my life, but I'm not a cycle instructor, and even if I was, what I show you right now is in no way an indication of how you should or how you ought to cycle this junction. If you're uncertain, if you live in most London boroughs, you'll be able to access cycle training, and I thoroughly recommend you do that. It's very useful. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so here we are on Newington Butts. This is the start of the route through Elephant, the direct one. So let's go for it. Just move off safely. Straight away, you can see that the road surface here is shocking. Now if you're in a car, that's a bit of an inconvenience, but if you're in a cycle, just left mate, thanks, it's a real nightmare because it puts you right out into the lane. So drivers, if you've been wondering why is that cyclist in the middle, the answer is probably because they can't ride down the middle of the road. And again, I've sat myself on the outside of the car there, because sitting in between a car and a bus is generally not a good idea. Now here we've got pedestrians. Come on mate. Cheers. Here we've got pedestrians going through the road crossing, so there's a lot to think about all at the same time. I'm going to follow this guy down the middle here, and we've got to merge with this traffic which is going pretty quickly. So we're going to wait for some kind of safe gap. The interval between the lights is very short, so that means that already as I move out across the junction, my task loading is right up there. So we've got a gap. Red lights here, so we can stop on these, but we've got a bus sat here. Now the reason that bus is sat there is because there's a whole row of bus stops lined up just next to the tube. It's very convenient for getting off the bus, but it means that if you're a cyclist on the near side lane, the first thing you're likely to hit as you go around that corner, and you can't see around the corner, as you'll see in a minute, is a bus that's just stopped. So that's why a lot of people will tend to ride further out. Right, green light, so they can move off. There's a guy in a hurry. Now because I know about that corner, I'm going to sit further out in the middle here. But that brings its own risks. People undertaking me, and now I have to make a big signal out to the right so that I can mix it with this traffic. All the way down this lane here, it's very congested. There's my cycle lane here. Quick check inside. So this is my route through the junction. Now you can see the route that I'm on and the safe cycle route there's someone undertaking there don't really align. Now what that means, you've just seen for yourself there, what that means is if I end up there, I've got a lot of work to do to end up back here. And this is where the road narrows from 2 lanes into 1. So a lot of people with a lot of stuff on their minds going through this junction. There's someone undertaking. Okay, right, let's pull over there. Now, as you've just seen for yourself, it's a very fast moving junction. There's a lot of decisions you have to make, and you have to make them very, very quickly. The way that I just rode through it there anyway, which is the way that a lot of commuters ride through it. Now, without making any judgment about those riders, after all, I'm not an instructor, but it's the way the majority of people currently choose to ride through that junction. You can see that that's the way people want to get through the junction, and you can see the risks that are there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the start of the route, and I'm going to show you, we'll probably speed it up because it takes so long, the back streets way. Alright, one sec. Okay, so we're back at the start of the quiet route round Elephant and Castle, and this is, it's longer, it's slower, but it's quieter. Let's have a look. Safe to move off through the potholes. Is over there. The way we're going to have to go is over there, because that's the quiet route. And one more thing, if we look on the pavement, there aren't actually any markings to let pedestrians know that bikes are going to use this bit, or to let bikes know that this is the bit they're meant to use. They are, it's on the council's maps, but they've got no way of knowing that really. Slip into the little one and make a cup of tea. Right, green, and we've got to be careful as we go over this because people do jump the lights. I don't know what was here. We can join the, sorry mate, we can join the oh, sorry mate, cheers. So now as you can see, this is the quiet route, but it doesn't mean it's automatically safe. We've got, as well as the crap rotor, which on a bike is a danger in itself, let's not forget the big pothole in winter can just tip you right off. We've got loads of these blind corners. What are they doing? They're going around. We've got loads of these blind corners. That limits the speed because we have to stop at every one to check that nothing's going to hit us. Now, that's an advantage if you're trying to make a nice quiet route. If it's a nice quiet indirect route, that makes an unattractive option even more unattractive, because rather than being able to get from A to B quickly and safely, which is what we want to do, or get from A to B slowly and safely, which is the next best thing, we're going to end up getting from A to B slowly and not even that safely. Alright, well, we're back more or less where we started now, at the other side of the Newington Butts junction, and I hope you've seen that the fast route has got a lot of possibilities for you to make a really bad choice with really bad consequences, and the slow route is much slower. So that means that bike riders have got one really big choice to make at the moment: fast and unsafe, or extremely slow and not even that safe. Now, Elephant and Castle Junction isn't set in stone, figuratively at least, because it's been changed several times over the years, and the last time it was changed, Boris changed it in 2010, and he said at that time that his priority was smoothing traffic flow. What's your priority now, Boris?